Thank you. I am normally used to playing with a band, so it's kind of fun to be by myself. So I did bring a piece of wood with a pickup on it. It sounds a little like a bass drum. And I brought a couple tambourines, so if some of you guys feel like joining in, come up and pick up one. But promise me you'll stay in time, otherwise I'll have to take it away from you. Stan was keeping a good time with his foot over here, so you might want to try tambourine.
Well, if you keep that wood piece going, I'll help.
What?
Keep that wood piece going, I'll stay with you.
Okay. 1 Samuel 16, starting chapter verse 14. At that very moment, the Spirit of God left Saul, and in his place a black mood sent by God settled on him. He was terrified. Saul's advisor said, "This awful, tormenting depression from God is making your life miserable. Oh, Master, let us help. Let us look for someone who can play the harp. When the black mood from God moves in, he'll play his music and you'll feel better." Saul told his servants, "Go ahead, find me someone who can play and bring him to me." One of the young men spoke up, "I know someone. I've seen him myself, the son of Jesse of Bethlehem. An excellent musician. He's also courageous, of age, well-spoken, good-looking, and God is with him." So Saul sent messengers to Jesse requesting, "Send your son David to me, the one who tends the sheep." Jesse took a donkey, loaded it with a couple of loaves of bread, a flask of wine, a young goat, and sent his son David with it to Saul. Going to cough for a minute. David came to Saul and stood before him. There we go. I think it's the beach color. Saul, if it starts speaking ahead of me, that's what it is. Saul liked him immediately and made him his right-hand man. Saul sent word back to Jesse, "Thank you. David will stay with here. He's the one I've been looking for. I'm very impressed by him." And after that, whenever the bad depression from God tormented Saul, David got his harp and played. That would calm Saul down and he would feel better as the moodiness lifted. Today we'd say that Saul had fits of depression. You might say he was bipolar. I'd say Saul had the blues. There's a genre of music that started, some say down in Mississippi. It's by the cotton pickers singing back and forth to each other, and then it moved to Memphis and made its way to Chicago, spread all over the world. It's called the blues. So after I read this passage from Saul, or about Saul, I went home and I took out my songwriting pencil and I wrote this song. See if I can get my fingers working. Some say it came from Mississippi. Some say it was Chicago form. Some say it came from a guitar. And some say it was pushed right through a horn. But I say 3,000 years ago is when the blues was born. There was this king in Israel named Saul. He had the blues real bad. It hurt him to the core. He called for his counselors, he called his chief of staff, said, "Bring me a blues man, get them blues off my back." Yeah, old Saul had blues. He had the blues so bad. He said, "Bring me a blues man, get them blues off my back." There was this shepherd boy named David, played a harp so sweet. He played the harp so well, old Saul began to weep. The king began to jump around, he felt so young and spry. David, that blues man, was reaching for the sky. Yeah, old Saul had blues. He had the blues so bad. He said, "Bring me a blues band, get them blues off my back." Now this blues man David, the king of all Israel. The court of David rocks and laid his heart just like a bell. You've heard about them other kings, B.B. and Albert too. David was the original king of the blues. Oh, Saul had the blues. He had the blues so bad. You said, bring me a blues band. Get them blues off my back. He said, bring me a blues band. Get them blues off my back. Saul had the blues. Thank you. I was at a car show a few years ago. A new car show. This is where they introduce all the new models. Walking around looking at all the cool new cars, and all of the car manufacturers had their latest models up on turntables, turned around. There were good-looking girls there with the fancy dresses on, talking about all the cars. And walked over to the Saturn booth, and Saturn, they had just men and women both dressed in khaki slacks and button-down shirts, and they were just kind of answering questions. And I thought, you know, I think Saturn must be the most Christian car there is. It's real, just basic, you know, down-to-earth, practical, nothing fancy, you know, get the job done, doesn't say much. So I think maybe Jesus would probably drive a Saturn. And then I got to thinking about that. Now, you know, that's a pretty narrow stereotype. That's probably not true at all. It's probably something quite different than that, actually. So the next morning, at my office, I took out my songwriting pencil and put on my songwriting notebook and put on my songwriting outfit. Started writing down all the possibilities of what kind of car Jesus would drive. So got right to would Jesus drive an old school bus, pick kids up at the school? Would he drive a minivan and drop them at the pool? Would he drive a big old Cadillac with his rims all in the back? Would he take his new Corvette and meet us at the track? What would Jesus drive? What would Jesus drive? When he's cruising down I-35, what would Jesus drive? Would Jesus drive a Mercedes-Benz and impress all his friends? Would he drive a ragtop Jeep to show where all he'd been? Would Jesus drive a Chevrolet, a Pontiac, or what? Would he drive an old Plugger or a new one off the lot? What would Jesus drive? What would Jesus drive? They're cruising down I-35, what would Jesus drive? Well, pearl paint and golden trim seemed like the thing to do. But when it came to taking the keys, what would Jesus do? Would he drive a new hybrid or a Line van? Could be a Honda or a Volvo, but I know he'd have a plan. What would Jesus drive? What would Jesus drive? When he's cruising down I-35, what would Jesus drive? Now the Bible says he came of his own accord. I don't care what car he drove, I just know he is the Lord. What would Jesus drive? What would Jesus drive? When he's cruising down I-35, what would Jesus drive? Would Jesus be an old park guy or drive a Subaru? Would he drive a Mini Cooper or BBW coupe? Would Jesus drive a Ford pickup or maybe an old Model A? Would he need a great big old dump truck just to haul our sins away? What would Jesus drive? What would Jesus drive? When he's cruising down I-35, what would Jesus drive? What would Jesus drive? What would Jesus drive? Cruising down I-35, tell me one more time, what would Jesus drive? As you may have noticed, I like to write goofy songs. Several I do are ones I've written, but this next one is not, or I should say this last one for this set. My mother died about 6 months ago, actually in September, how long ago it was, 5 months ago. And I decided that I wanted to sing this song at her funeral. And so I got on the phone, and in about 15 minutes I put together a 6-piece band, and everybody was excited to do it. So we did this song. And the song is Will the Circle Be Unbroken? and probably most of you know it. So the way the song normally goes is that I would sing the verse and you guys would all join in on the chorus. And that's the way it is always sung. Everybody just sings along. At my mother's funeral, we had the whole congregation sing the chorus and I sang the verses. And had a banjo and some other instruments, played some breaks, so it worked out pretty good. So if your guys' job is to sing the chorus, and if you don't know it, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just sorry for your deprived background, that's all I can say. And, we'll be praying for you if you don't know. Because I always got to stop and think how it goes. I was standing by my window on a cold and rainy day, and I heard that bus come rolling to carry my mother away. Everybody sang, will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better on the way in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I said to that undertaker, please drive slow, 'cause that lady that you're carrying, I hate to see her go with everybody. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Well, I followed close behind him, had to hold up and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home away in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Here's a new verse. We sing songs from our childhood into faith that made us strong. We sing songs Joanne taught us, and the angels sang along. Everybody, will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home away in the sky, Lord, in the sky. One more time, will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home away in the sky, Lord, in the sky, in the sky, Lord. John Denton Redding, in the sky. This next song is one I wrote. This was, I was working at the coffee house and one of our baristas came in and said, "How's your day, Dave?" And he said, "You would not believe it." He said, "Last night we had our small group over and everybody went around and gave testimonies and see how God was working in their lives. And this morning I met with a couple other guys, a couple other people, and you know, it's just, you know, it's amazing what's going on." He said, "You know, I'd rather have nothing than settle for less." And I said, "Dibs on that line." I said, "Are you going to write that song?" He said, "No, you can have it." I said, "That song practically writes itself." So I went home that night and I wrote this song. Settle for less. I'd rather have a joy and happiness. I'd rather have a peace down in my soul. All the gold into this old world. I'd rather have a love for all my brothers, all helping one another. I'd rather have another in this world that's hell full less. You might have a big fine car, but that's all you own. You might have a condo in Vail or a high degree from Yale. Well, I don't care about all those things and the prestige they might bring. I'd rather have a joy in my soul more than anything. On a hog, you might be treated like a dog. You might have a tiger by the tail, or you spent the last 30 days in jail. It don't matter what life might bring, about Jesus I will sing. I'd rather have joy down in my soul more than anything. I'd rather have nothing than to settle for less. I'd rather have joy and happiness. I'd rather have a peace down in my soul than on the cold end of this old world. I'd rather have a love for all my brothers, all helping one another. I'd rather have nothing in this world than to settle for less. I'd rather have nothing in this world than to settle for less. I did that song one time, and the lady came up afterwards and says, "How'd you know I just got out of jail?" I said, "I didn't." She said, "I just spent 30 days in jail. I said, "Great, we're glad you're out." A few years before that, I had a buddy who was in jail, and I picked him up at the courthouse. He'd just been released. And we drove straight from there to Branson, Missouri, to a men's retreat. It's almost exactly like this, a CBMC men's retreat. And the speaker, on Friday night, it was Friday, Saturday, the speaker went around and he said, "Okay, everybody, tell us about yourself." The very first guy said, "Well, I've never been in jail." And everybody laughed, except for me and my buddy. We didn't laugh. You never know what people are going to say. So I got to him. He didn't say anything about just getting out of jail. He said I was going to do one or two songs, so there's two. I'll do one more. The first one was a freebie. I wasn't planning on doing the auctioneer, but I was thinking about my dad, so I threw that in. We'll do an old Hank Williams song. This is a sing-along. This is one everybody should know. If you don't know this, it's like I said last night, I'm sorry for your deprived background, but everybody recognize that? I Saw a Light. Tambourines up here. I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin, I wouldn't let my tears stay with me. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Now everybody, I saw the light. I saw the light, no more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Just like a blind man, I wandered along, worries and fears I claimed for my own. Then like that blind man, that God gave back his sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light, everybody, I saw the light. I saw the light, and no more darkness and no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I was a fool to wander and stray, but straight is the gate and there's a way. Now I have traded the wrong for the fight. Praise the Lord. I saw the light. Everybody now, I saw the light. I saw the light, and no more darkness and no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord. One more time, and I saw the light. I saw the light, and no more darkness and no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord. I saw the light. Praise the Lord. I saw